it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my been ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been better. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them, this is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit, I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah, said you gon' pull up then settle it, yeah, I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now, have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that, big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that, work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no wins, yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah.
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. Bonito, cheap, Keith.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, thought they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at
at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get that overlay going. But what is going on, Mafia? Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out here with your boy Frankie Candles and the Candle Mafia to do, I don't know. We're supposed to be doing like an hour and a half of TA, but we always wind up going for 2 hours, guys. What is the next move on Bitcoin? We looked for that 8-hour bearish divergence at our key level of resistance last week. And we did get the drop to the downside here. Are we about to bounce back, or are we going for lower prices? I want to talk about the key levels that I'm watching. And are we overall bullish? Are we looking for all-time highs to come in at some point soon? We're going to talk about that today, guys. And you guys got me cracking up in the chat here. Somebody said, give him the Glock to... Shout out to Satoshi Glockamoto. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Let's see who else we got. We got Hugo's. What is going on? We got Newbie Crypto in the chat. Said, let's see. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Welcome in. We got Tyler Durden, guys. Show our mods some love. We got Rob the Crypto Snob, Darren Does Things, Chemistry Bro. You guys know who they are. Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon. Show them some love in the chat. We got Chewy in the chat. Said, tell me what to do, Frankie. Yeah, we're going to break down everything for you guys. We do have some bullish CVD forming right now with some medium time frame bullish signs on Market Cypher B. I'm going to show the key levels and kind of what I'm expecting next year, guys. But we waited so long to get up to that $97-ish thousand level for a potential rejection. We look for that 8-hour bearish divergence on Friday and that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red. I did take a short up there, which is now in profit. And yeah, we got that drop to the downside, guys. If you remember the Friday's live stream, I was talking about how, there is a very, very low probability that we don't get any reaction at that level. We had a ton of resistance. We had the 8-hour bear div, money flow coming out, very high probability reaction to the downside, which we did wind up getting. But the question is, are we going to be able to get above that level? And we all know if we break that 97K level, flip it to support, it could open up the doorway to much higher prices. So I want to talk about kind of the probabilities of that potentially happening. Let's see. Shout out to XRP Belgium in the chat. What is going on? Dave Digital said, happy birthday, bro. Shouting out Rob the Crypto Snob. Excuse me. Oh my God, I just inhaled something. Let's see. World War 28. What is going on, bro? Said, I would hope it's in profit right now. Otherwise, your fees are crazy. Yeah, shout out to my entry was at about, I think, 96.8, I believe was my entry. So yeah, definitely in profit. Fees not eating us up that bad. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts. We got K Diggity. What is going on, K Diggity? Phoebe says hi. Says, I got like number 69. What's your like, guys? Don't forget to smash that like button. It's the easiest and most free way, not only to help support the channel, but it also helps the technical difficulties. The higher that like number goes, the less technical difficulties we'll have. And I already almost got shut down here. And I did get a cut, guys. I got a fresh Frankie Candles cut here. I don't have my hair done here right now, but I cut it all off, guys. I cut it all off. Finally, that hair was getting too long. Mrs. Candles wanted me to grow it out, but I was just like, you know what? We're shaving this thing off. But anyway, guys, without further ado, we got a lot to look at on the chart. So let's go ahead and jump on into, shout out to 9 to 5 in crypto and content. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys. Oh my God, Bitcoin's mooning. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have some bullish CVD here, guys. I was actually just talking to the premium Discord. We do have some bullish CVD down here. Now, I don't really love the level that we came down to for a massive rip to the upside, but we do have bullish CVD forming. We also have some things on Market Cypher B potentially pointing towards a push to the upside. But first, before we cover those local levels, guys, I do want to talk about kind of the overall context of the market right now. Obviously, we have waited for that $97,000 golden pocket. Monthly naked point of control daily. We all know all the levels that were sitting in here. Massive, massive level of resistance. And that golden pocket was obviously the macro golden pocket pulled from the all-time high all the way to the low here. And we have been waiting for this level to come in as that full golden pocket retracement ever since we started putting in those massive bullish divergences on the higher daily time frames into our key level of support at the weekly naked point of control at $75,000. We finally got that full retracement. And again, on Friday, talking about how, listen, guys, Could we shoot out and, just shoot up into that value area high? Sure, it's possible, but very, very low probabilities of zero reaction at this level, which is why I took a shot at that short position. And I actually only took a partial position on that short because, as you know, we did have that extra level up here, which was that daily horizontal / daily naked point of control sitting at 98.3. We did wind up front running that level. But again, with the 8-hour bearish divergence, we're even looking at this before it formed, saying, hey, look at that 8-hour momentum wave. If we could get a green dot and a lower high on our momentum wave, it would very likely push us into deeper into our resistance level, give us that 8-hour bear div, and that is a much, much better signal for a pullback. Rather than what we were seeing at the time. It was just looking a little bit better to get that 8-hour bear div. We wound up printing that with our 30-minute money flow crossover into the red, giving us that market cipher B 1/16th bearish setup. And if I mark out that money flow crossover here on market cipher B, you can see money flow crosses over into the red, and it does indeed continue our trend to the downside. And one of the things that we were looking at, guys, was we did have to be careful up here because we had that monthly naked point of control at 96K. But we knew, right, specifically what we were looking at was like, hey, once we lose that $96,000 monthly naked point of control, we had our lower volume profile saying, well, hey, if we are going to take that short down there, we could say, hey, if we lose $96,000, we can look to potentially get accepted back into our previous value area high. And then once that happens, very high probabilities that we're going to continue down to that POC. And right now we are bing-bonging around. I'm going to bring up a new chart, not a new chart, but I'm going to bring up another chart here that has the actual key levels on it. We are technically just stuck underneath that POC right now. And I'll be honest, like there are some things pointing towards a potential push to the upside here. But yeah, beautiful rejection off that 8-hour bearish divergence. And yeah, like not too bad, guys. Like 8-hour bear div plays out perfectly, giving us that drop to the downside. Now, I will say a lot of the key levels I am looking at below us do remain exactly the same, right? We all know, let me pull up the actual key levels here now. If we pull up the bada boom, if we pull up our current or previous range volume profile here, $91,000 again, guys, like the question is, right? We've come in for that massive golden pocket retracement, and as we know, if you're going to look for a rejection, the high probability rejection is going to come in at that golden pocket retracement. That's that first kind of place that we're going to look for that big rejection, especially when we have the POC, the daily naked points of controls, weekly naked point of controls, etc. All that resistance up there, many, many reasons to look for that short back to the downside. So shout out to anybody who's been paying attention to the content and was able to find some kind of entry up there based off your own entry triggers. But we did have our setups there in the premium Discord, so very, very nice. Let me actually... bada boom, bada bing. So yeah, I only did take a partial position here, guys, to be quite honest with you. So, and the reason for that was because we did not get our daily hit at 98.3. So I did take a partial position. I wanted a 50K position, but it's only 44,000, up about 960 right now as we kind of bing bong around. So yeah, not too bad. Not upset with that position at all. And to be quite honest, I will say we do have the 3-day VWAP coming down. So if we could get these higher time frame red dots to print, we may be able to see that continuation to the downside. I'll talk about the little bit more of a bullish case in a second. But at the end of the day, guys, we have been talking about how that daily money flow crosses over into the green. We get above our value area low, which is the doorway to higher prices. Once you get above that level, you're going to be looking for the next likely place for price to go to be where? Exactly. Shout out to Vegas Claw. He said the POC of the range, I think. I don't know. I just looked quick. I think he said the POC of the range. And we get pushed into that POC. We get the bearish confirmations. And if we do get the continued push to the downside, I will just say, guys, I do feel pretty good right now. I do feel good as long as we can hold that critical level of support that we've been talking about between the value area low at 91K all the way down to the value area high at about $88,500. Now, again, we have been looking at two ranges here. We have our previous volume profile, value area low at 91K, and then we have the current range volume profile with the value area low sitting at about 89.5 or 89.6. So these are really like the big levels we want to hold. Now, I mean, hey, hopefully we could just hold here and squeeze back above this level and maybe continue cooking to the upside, but I just want to be very clear. If we do see the continued push to the downside here, again, with the 3-day red dot potentially looking to print, you guys can see we did have that 2-day red dot printing, which did give us that little continuation down. But if these high time frame red dots do continue to roll us over, at the end of the day, if we just look at our current range, like the hope here is, again, we have 91K where we're looking at for that bounce. But if we do continue down, for the most part, between 89.5 and 88.5 is really the main level that I really want to hold above to kind of maintain my bullish sentiment for higher lows and higher highs to come. Again, just because we have this massive level of resistance doesn't mean that has to be the top forever. We could just get some turbulence there. And then the beautiful thing is once you flip above that major level of support or resistance, flip it into support, all that resistance now kind of comes underneath you and is able to kind of hold you up, right? And once you get above that POC, the next likely place for price to go is going to be looking up towards a few different levels, right? Value area high sitting at 105K. We also have the 786 retracement sitting at about $102,000, 102,251 to be exact. Once you get above the golden pocket, the next place for price to likely go is going to be that 786. So that is going to be like kind of the next major target to the upside. This is also confluent, obviously, with our previous range value area high. Let me go ahead and pull that up as well, right? Previous range value area high, 786 confluence between 102.2 and about 103K. So I will be looking at price until we either break down below 91K or above 102, 103K. I will be looking at this previous profile pulled until about March 5th, 2025, right? That's kind of where the end of that profile is pulled from, all the way from November 11th to March 5th, right? So I'm going to be looking at that range until we either, again, break down below 91K. At that point, I'm turning off the previous range, looking at the current range, saying, okay, we have 89.5 and the value area low of the value area high of the lower range at about 88.5. Like, this is really the biggest level, guys. And the thought process here is based off the volume profiles. Like, we would hope, super bullishly, I mean, hey, hopefully we could take off from here, right? And I'll show you the market cipher B signals right now that could point towards a little push up. I wouldn't necessarily expect 103K to come in right away. But, even if we pull back here, right, value area low, we just want to maintain support above this level. That could be a good place to look for a bounce back up. And then we can have a second approach at that POC to see if we can fill that range. And then once we start breaking below there, again, turning on that current range, 89,600, that would be this is really where it becomes the line in the sand, right? This is like really this range, right? I'll just pull this on a box so I can get the exact technical levels for you here. Bada boom, right? 89, I would call it about 89.5 down to 88.5. Like, that's really the level we want to remain above. We talked about this all last week because, guys, if we break below this, just from a binary perspective, it just gets a little more bearish, right? We're inside of our previous range volume profile now, and at that point, get stuck under this value area high. The next likely place for price to go is going to be the POC of the range at 83, 84K, right? POC is really sitting at 84K. We have a lot of support down there as well, but at the end of the day, if we get down there, guys, money flow might be back in the red on the daily, and it just looks a little bit more bearish in my opinion, right? I would probably be looking for the full fill of that range down to the value area low. But until we break 88.5, we're hoping, right, we could bounce off that $91,000 level, the 89.5 level, and then last line of defense, 88.5. Same thing as last week, but now that we're seeing this rejection, I just want everyone to be aware, like if we see that continuation down, these are 100% going to be the major key levels to hold, and hopefully we can just hold above 88.5, guys, and see this continuation to the upside. But yeah, for the most part, that is what I'm still looking at on the higher time frames. My sentiment remains the same as long as we stay inside those volume profiles. And just to be clear, one of the big reasons why, on top of just getting accepted into your lower value, right, if we get below that 88.5 level, you could look for the fill of that range. But at that point, right, like you're starting to get rejected out of your upper profile, right? That's not what we want. We want to remain inside this larger range because as long as we remain above that value area low, it keeps the door open to see the full fill of that volume profile. And once you start really losing this and getting accepted, and you might get a little confused there, right? Because at the end of the day, more often than not, when we come down to a value area low, we are looking for longs. And obviously, we will be looking for longs down there. However, once you lose the value area and you start getting accepted into that lower range, that's where it just gets a little more bearish, right? Because not only are you getting accepted into lower value, but you're also, getting rejected out of your upper range. So like the main goal here is to stay inside these volume profiles above. And that, in my opinion, as long as that money flow stays in the green on the daily, it could look very good for higher lows and higher highs to come. Again, targeting those next prices that we just talked about, next major targets, I'm just going to list them off here. Next major targets to the upside, as long as, let me actually pull this up real quick, right? Our big level of resistance, we barely front ran the 98.3 level that we were looking at, which is fine because I still took the short here because I got the confirmations. If I get the confirmations, I'm going to take the short every single time, guys, even if we front run a level. But at the end of the day, that's kind of our last level of defense, right? So if we do come up here, like I said, we do have bullish CVD forming here. And again, I'll pull up market cipher B in just a second to show you guys kind of what I'm looking at. But if we do get the move back up here, right, once we break above 98.3, if we can hold that level as support, there's not a lot above us holding us from getting into those next targets, right? So 98.3 is still the last level of defense, just like last week. You can see we basically filled this entire level of resistance or zone of resistance, and we just still have that last kind of wall sitting there at 98.3. Once we get above there, honestly, like there's not much above, right? That's where we could start looking at the potential possibility of coming into that $102,000 value area high, right? Sitting right up here, 102, 103K, 786 sitting up there as well. And then once we break out of that, we can look at the larger value area high sitting closer to $105,000. So I'll be honest, right? Like just looking pretty good here to be like, unless we get rejected out of this range, things are looking pretty good to potentially hold some of these levels and start getting cooking here to the upside. So not really hating it, guys. Not gonna lie. This is a huge turning point for Bitcoin. We said this last week. I think it was like one of the thumbnails was like, major decision time for Bitcoin, right? 100% is, right? Because, could we get the big rejection from here, right? Even if it's a higher low and higher high, that would be great. Could it be the lower high before coming down to a new low? We'll make that decision once we start losing 88.5. But, this is like really the last level to get above before really starting to look up to some of these higher prices. And I don't want to get like super FOMO bullish on you guys. And I definitely won't be doing that. Like I said, I'm in a short right now. But we're just inside the volume profile. This is nice. Like as long as we can maintain support in here, I will be looking for those higher lows and higher highs, especially with that money flow in the green on the daily. Let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital said I always need TP after I eat. Shout out to Dave Digital. Yeah, finish up that dinner and take some money off the table, baby. Or you might be talking about a different type of TP. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's see. Just checking on chat real quick. And we will be taking a look at some altcoins as well, guys. I'm going to go into the local levels on Bitcoin real quick, and then we'll move into the altcoins. Shout out to Dave Digital said, dang, Frankie, that POC seems to act like a magnet. 100%, Dave. 100%. The POC is that strongest level within the profile, the super magnet within the profile. All the value area levels do act as magnets, right? Again, that's kind of like how we look at them, right? Like, you get above the value area low, POC is going to be a magnet. Get above that POC, the value area high will be your magnet. But the POC will always be that strongest magnet within the profile. And, oftentimes price will cling to that level. Now, another thing I do want to look at with you guys is before we go into the local levels, if we pull in the VPVR real quick, and we'll just talk about this as well. If we just look at this from a visible range volume profile perspective here, right? If we start to lose this value area low, right, it's sitting at 91K, and again, we do have 89K as well, you could just see that, like, obviously the highest volume node is up here towards the POC, and then the volume starts to fall off down to about $88,500 where we have that next shelf in volume, right? We have that kind of low volume gap, and then the volume starts to pick up right here at 88.5. So if we do start kind of breaking down out of that range, we could see kind of a quick move down, which could be a little bit spooky at the time, right? But as long as we can hold above that level, could potentially see that be if we can get bullish confirmations down there, look for the reclaim of the value area low, and then maybe that's where we can get the send back to the upside. This would be like a nice little like kind of fake out, spook people out, and then actually wind up sending it back up. But you could just see there's not a lot of volume below us. So if we do break down there, you could see the drop happen pretty quickly. And that's why it's very important to keep an eye on these key levels. And you can see on the volume profile, it does that 88.5 value area high. Excuse me. Does perfectly line up with the start in the peak of volume there, right? You kind of get that shelf of volume to start, and that would be a great place to bounce. And then, why don't we want to get accepted back into that value area? Well, very simply put, right? Once you get stuck below that value area high, where's the next highest volume node? It's sitting right down here towards the POC, which makes the next highest probability area for price to go to be that POC sitting around $84,000, right? So all those levels line up, and you can just see, anytime we look at the volume profiles, guys, we always talk about this. It's like, once you get the breakout, price is going to seek fair value. Where is the fairest value above? Well, it's going to be on the highest volume node right there. And what happens? You get sucked right up towards that price, right? And that's how we make these predictions. That's how we make these calls. And that's why we're right more often than we're wrong, because we just stick to the charts. I didn't think we were coming up here because I felt bullish because we were pumping. As a matter of fact, we were getting bullish down here as everyone thought it was the bear market. And we said if we can get that bigger retracement, it would make a lot of sense to come up to that $97,000 level. And when we get up there, what do we say? We look for shorts, right? Even if we're going to continue up, we look for those shorts and we take them, as I just showed, making that money, whether price goes up or down. Now, I do want to take a look at some of the local levels here because, I like to start off on the higher time frames just so everyone can kind of see, right? Like, this has generally been our plan. Look for the 97K, last week, 8-hour bear div, get the pullback. But we do have a lot of levels now forming in here within our local profile. So I do want to cover those really quickly with you guys. Let me just come in current on chat. Fingers crossed. Shout out to, oh my God, shout out to UK. I don't even know how to say that first name, brother. Can you do with a nice news catalyst? Could do with a nice news catalyst to get the pump on. Yeah, shout out to UK. That would make a lot of sense, right? Like I always say this, I pay attention to the charts. Let the news come in wherever it needs to come in, right? But like regardless of the news, if we see the bullish divergences, we're looking for the move up, right? And if the news happens, just fill in the blanks on the news. But I really only react off the charts, right? Now, could the news step on the TA? Absolutely. But more often than not, we will see those signs on the chart way before the news actually comes out, right? But yeah, it could be nice, right? We'll see what happens at FOMC. Maybe we'll get bearish news, bullish news. But again, I'll just be very, very simply here, guys. As long as we stay inside our upper range, more specifically above 88,500, we could look for that continuation up. Once we break 88.5, still my sentiment remains the same. It would be much more bearish in my opinion. Looking for the bigger drop down to our value area low. And remember, guys, this golden pocket is a high probability area. In case we do put a lower low in, we have to keep this in mind, right? The reason I'm willing to take shorts up here, or was willing to take shorts up here last week, was just simply because if we get the bigger pullback, right, like this golden pocket could be the area to put in a lower high before putting in that lower low near 70 to 72K. Now, I hope, and as of right now, as the charts look, it looks less probable that is the case. Once we break 88,500, the probability of getting that lower low becomes much higher in my opinion. That is the line in the sand for me to expect a higher probability of the lower low coming in. But until then, we stay up here. My sentiment still remains higher lows and higher highs. I want to be very, very clear about that. And again, just because we short up here doesn't mean that we have to know that this is going to be the top, right? If it winds up breaking down, we lose 88.5, well, that's fine, right? It kind of stinks because Bitcoin's probably not going to continue up, at least right now. But we'll be short from the tippy top pretty much, right? So that at least we'll be making money on the way down. So there we go. Let's take a look at the local levels that we have here on the lower time frames, guys, because obviously we do have some nice consolidation here. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Let me hide the current range. We'll pull up the scalp range, and I will just hide these weekly naked points of controls really quickly. I'll hide this, and we'll come on down here to a lower time frame. So obviously, guys, this is like what we were using for our guide to lower prices, saying, hey, if we lose $96,000 at the monthly naked point of control, look to get accepted back in the range. Once we get stuck under that value area high, we look to go to the POC. And right now, we are attempting to kind of maybe pop out of this POC, to be quite honest. Now, obviously, if we get stuck under this POC, the next anticipated price, and honestly, just within the volume profile, regardless, typically the higher probability move is to see that range fill in full. Like every time we look at a volume profile, regardless of the time frame, that's what we look for, right? We just look for the full fill of the range. It's not going to be 100%. It's like dang near 80% in my experience, right? It's like dang near an 80% chance that will happen. But it doesn't mean, right? We did bounce off a golden pocket here. Again, we do have some bullish CVD forming here. And when we look at market cipher B, we do have bullish divergences that formed into that golden pocket, right? So locally, lower lows on price action into our key golden pocket, higher lows on our momentum waves, giving us that bullish divergence. And you can even see here, money flow trying to cook its way to the upside. This actually doesn't look that bad. And to be honest, like more often than not, I am going to lean more towards the fact that this range will fill in full. But the way this money flow looks, if we could get this 1 hour money flow, and I'll take a look at some lower time frames as well, that might be an earlier signal. But once that money flow comes back into the green, I'm watching this 12-hour green dot, guys, because if that 12-hour green dot prints as our 1 hour money flow is going to crossing over into the green, that could indicate that maybe we are going to get a little bit of a stronger bounce off this golden pocket with that bullish CVD. Now, I'm going to talk about some key levels of resistance. We do have a CME gap sitting above and below right now, right? We have a CME gap up here. We also have a CME gap lower. My preferred scenario, to be quite honest, is to come down to our previous value area low. If I could just show my kind of like ideal situation of what I would really want to see, I would love to see this. Push into the $91,000 golden pocket. We fill the CME gap down here. We have a 786 retracement. We have the value area low. We also have a daily naked point of control. I would love to come down here and then get the bigger move up, right? The market's not always going to give you exactly what you want, but that is what I would love to have, right? Just get the bigger retracement, make some more money on the short. I mean, maybe we could, if we come up, put a lower high on that, we could still see that happen. I would just love for that. Get a nice long entry here at the value area low. It would be so beautiful. Honestly, so beautiful that it oftentimes when you see a nice setup like that, sometimes the market just doesn't want to give it to you. But I would really prefer to see that happen. That's kind of like that's my preferred scenario, right? But with the lower time frame scenario that we're sitting in right now with the scalp range, locally here, I will just give this to you, right? Value area low is sitting at about $92,788. Value area high is sitting at about $95,626, and then the POC is sitting right here where we are right now at about $94,837, right? So yeah, the way Market Cipher B looks, I'll be honest, right? Like maybe we pop above this POC. If we could break above that POC, we're going to be looking up towards that value area high, and I have a very specific level here that I'm watching because, again, we do have that CME gap. If I pull up the CME exchange here real quick, you could see, right, just pulling our golden pocket from the high to the low here. You have the CME gap sitting between about 96.4, what is this? 96,450 all the way up here to about 97.5. It is also confluent with your golden pocket 786 retracement. So this might be, right, if we look at this, if we come up first, right, again, because that 1 hour money flow is coming up, and, just if we look at a lower time frame here, looking at the 30-minute, keep in mind the 8-hour red dot and 30-minute money flow crossover into the red is what we were looking at on Friday to start the bigger move to the downside, right, paying our short out very, very nicely. Kind of a similar situation here, right? Money flow trying to come up here with our 8-hour green dot potentially coming soon, right? As soon as we get that green dot on the 8-hour, I'm going right down to the 30-minute, and I'm looking at that money flow. If that money flow crosses into the green, we might get the move up first, even though we didn't fill this profile in full. So if we get up there, right, makes a lot of sense in my opinion if we're going to go fill that CME gap. And to be honest, I'm just sitting in my short from the top, right? Sit in my short from the top. If we come down first, right, maybe we fill the lower CME gap, right, and I will be looking for longs down there. Or if we come up first, that bullish CVD gets us above the POC, we could push up to the value area high, right? This would be a deviation above our volume profile. Bada boom. Let's see. Right. That would be a deviation above our volume profile into our golden pocket 786. Fill that CME gap. We could also potentially look for shorts up in here to get back in the range, go back to the POC, go to the low. So I'm going to hold my short position, right? If we come up first, I might look to add if we come up here and get the bearish confirmations that we're looking for in the premium. Or if we come down first, which is what I prefer, again, to look for, continue to have that short payout. And then we look for the long position down here towards that CME gap, getting closer to the $91,000 value area low of our macro range. Let me just pull that up real quick, right? I'll hide the scalp range, right? So that CME gap is sitting right down there. So I prefer that, but if we come up first, that is definitely a scenario that can happen with the way Market Cipher B looks. And again, that 30-minute money flow will be an early signal that will likely print before we get that 1 hour money flow crossover. Because if you think about it, if that 30-minute money flow crosses into the green and we get the push above the POC and we start pushing up here, 30-minute money flow crosses into the green. At that point, right, 1 hour money flow is going to continue to creep up towards that zero line, right? And then eventually that 12-hour green dot will print. 1 hour money flow will cross over, or 16-hour green dot as well. Very similar here. 16-hour green dot, 12-hour green dot, right? Between the 12 and the 16-hour, you're going to be looking at the 1 hour money flow and the 45-minute money flow, which you can see, obviously 45 minutes coming up as well. So I'm kind of looking for that. We talk about this all the time. It's that multi-time frame analysis, right? Looking for the low time frames to give us the early signal and then have those higher time frames follow suit just behind them and continue kind of pushing price in the right direction. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Holding the short from here. If we come up, I will be looking to potentially add to my shorts up there. If we come down, I will continue to take profits on, or start to take profits on my short, which I probably should take a little profit right now, to be quite honest with you. And then, I would just prefer to take a long here. It's hard for me to long here, right? And the reason for that is we didn't even come down to the value area low, right? Is it impossible to bounce? Is it impossible? Whoops. Is it impossible to bounce from this golden pocket and just send it? Absolutely not, especially with the way Market Cipher B looks. But it's just, I don't know. It's like I just really would prefer, right? Because if more often than not you do get that fill to the value area low, it just makes this a lower probability setup, right? Like if you take this trade 10 times, it's not going to play most of the time, right? The higher probability setup will be down here. But once in a while, especially with the bullish CVD that we're seeing on exo charts, right? Like you could potentially just see that squeeze up. It'll be one of those rare cases where the range does not fill in full. But again, it's a hard long to take, to be honest, because you take the long at the golden pocket, you're just longing right into resistance, right? And then you get the pullback. But I'll be honest, this with the bullish CVD doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised if you get that push up. Oh, there you go, getting that pop. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can get a push up towards that CME gap. But yeah, this is the local range that I will be trading until we wind up either breaking out or breaking down. And that's my overall plan here. Yeah, so we'll see if we can flip that POC. We might be able to see this move up continue. Let's see. Towel, please, and thank you. Shout out to Poster. What is going on? It's Poster Bitbag. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, we can try to take a look at Tau. We'll take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at Solana, XRP. We'll take a look at the altcoins, and then we'll take some requests. Great thing about Bitcoin, even if it goes to zero, we become billionaires. Shout out to Dynamic Entry. Absolutely, especially with the Dynamic Entry, you'll be able to make money. Shorten that thing to zero, right? So yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. I'll be honest, like the market type for B setups don't look bad if we can hold above that PLC to get the move up first. Now, if we break up, right, we're just remember on our higher time frames that we still have that major level at 98.3, right? So, you know, maybe you get the push back into your range, you fill the CME gap, and you continue down. That's one scenario, right? But if we do just kind of push up, break above the PLC, and crack this high, your last line of defense here, in my opinion, is 98.3. Right, we do have some other intermediary like shorts that we're going to be looking at, but I honestly don't think they're super high probability. And just within the profiles, guys, like we'll see what happens. We get above that POC, maybe we can start pushing up towards that high. But yeah, I'm just sharing with you guys what I'm doing. And let's see, hair reveal. Shout out to Julio. I actually did a hair reveal in the beginning of the stream. It's nothing really special. I don't have it done or anything. I don't got it gelled up or anything. But yeah, we got a nice little fade. Maybe I'll throw some gel in there. Should I do a hats off stream? I haven't done a hat off stream in quite some time. Because my hair did not look like this last week. Let's see. I really hope it actually happens. Shout out to Ahmed. You want it to go to zero. Let's go. Shout out to Ahmed. Hopefully you're in a short. Let's see. Powell is going to give Biddy the Bugs Bunny hammer. Yo, shout out to Vegas Claw. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Powell says. That is obviously, that's going to have a big, that's going to have a big kind of, I want to say impulse, a big effect on what happens here. Now, another thing here, guys, shout out to, who said it? Shout out to Alejandro, says 4-hour money flow. Yeah, this is, again, why I'm not just like panic closing my short here and flipping long for like a massive move up. 4-hour money flow is now in the red. So again, like if these market cipher B signals do push us up, again, this could look good in my opinion, right? 4-hour green dot printing, or is that's confirmed now? 4-hour green dot confirmed, 15-minute money flow. Tried to come into the green. It's bing bonging around a little bit. But that 4-hour money flow, right? We could potentially anticipate. This is kind of what I'm hoping, right? If we get the push up, maybe fill that CME gap, right? If we get the push up first, continue the lower high to get the bigger drop to the downside into our bigger level at 91,000, our first bigger level at 91,000. This money flow could be pointing towards that, right? 4-hour green dot prints, you get a little push up, but the overall continuation of the trend within the 4-hour context would be for a continuation down. So, ideally for me, right, if we do get the push and we continue to pop above this POC and continue the upside, for me personally, it would be like, oh, no, we're going to stop out. Never mind. Lower high. Short continues to pay out. Get the nice long setup here. And the 4-hour money flow, again, could be pointing towards that, right? Because this would indicate the trend would likely continue to the downside within the 4-hour context. And if we do look at this, again, that CME gap is pretty close to the Golden Pocket 786 retracement. And we have that weekly naked point of control sitting right up here at 96.2, which again is confluent, right? If I'm just looking for this, where's my resistance, right? I'm looking at the Golden Pocket 786, weekly naked point of control. That's also neither CME gap, right? So maybe we come up, lower high, back into the range, and then maybe that's where we fill the range in full and come on down towards that $91,000 level. But we'll see what happens, right? I like the more I look at this with the money flow, with the bullish CVD, yeah, it's so hard for me to bet against the profile filling in full. Like, it really is hard for me to say because, again, like almost every time we look at this, it winds up playing out. But, yeah, I mean, when you got those signs on Market Cipher B, it might not be impossible as long as you can hold above this POC. Might be able to get the push up first. And then, again, we break through there. I stop out of the short. We'll look at that daily naked point of control at 98.3. Let's see. Down first, then up. Shout out to Hugo's. That's what I'm hoping. Let's see. Yeah, all macro signs are saying ready to rip. Yeah, my overall sentiment right now, right, like honestly remains the same. Remains the same as what it was up here, down here, and like it's all the same, right? Down here, we expected a potential retracement to 80 to 75K. We get it. We get the bullish divergences. We look for the 7/8 golden pocket retracement at 97K. And with the daily money flow, I would say, like, I do feel good, right? I do feel good about this for the most part. Any pullback with the daily money flow being in the green, even though the 4 hours crossing into the red, the daily is a higher time frame, right? That's the more important time frame to look for money flow. So, even if this comes out a little bit, as long as it stays in the green, even if we get the bigger retracement, maybe down to 88.5, right? That's just kind of what we have to see. Are we just going to like just grind up here? Right? Are we just going to kind of keep popping up and we're just going to grind up and see the bigger move up? Or are we going to get the bigger retracement, maybe down to 88.5, freak people out, put in the higher low and then the higher high? Either way, as long as that daily money flow stays in the green, my overall context is higher lows and higher highs to come until we break out of that larger range. More specifically, the current value area low, right? As long as we can stay above here, right? You can even look at this as like a larger support, right? 91K, that's near the first value area low, down to 89.5. Near our current value area low. Like as long as we can, even if we get the bigger retracement, as long as we could stay above here, I would still say daily money flow would be calling for higher highs and higher lows. So that's what or higher lows and higher highs, I should say. So that's what I would be looking for. Still feel pretty good, even if we get the bigger retracement. And honestly, yeah, I don't know. I would really prefer the bigger move down first and then send it. But I don't know. Maybe the market will be like, screw you, Frankie Candles. I'm just going to send it from here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin for the most part, guys. Almost a head and shoulders on the 4 hour when you showed that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, not something I, come up here, something like that. It's like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But yeah, it is, again, like head and shoulder. That's not something I trade alone, right? But yeah, that's probably what you're seeing right there. Could be. But yeah, that's what we're looking at, guys, for the most part. Let's see. Shout out to James, said that's all I needed to confirm my bias. Shout out to Frankie, the GOAT, or the GO. Shout out to James. Yeah, and listen, guys, I just want to be clear. Right? I could be wrong. But I'm not going to lie. I do feel pretty good. And that will change, right? We start breaking 88.5. I'm going to be like, oh, God, guys, that's not looking too good. But it will be a little bit of a celebration because we'll likely be short from the top. And we'll be like, yeah, we're making money on the short. But, guys, it's not looking good, honestly. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Until then, we have plenty of room to come down, fill some CME gaps, tap some key levels, and still continue up. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Ryan, said really reaching on that head and shoulders. Yeah, it's like a mutated head and shoulders, I guess. Yeah. I would like to see it a little bit more clean, but to be honest, it's not really something I pay much attention to. It's really just, like a head and shoulders is something that, I talked to the premium Discord about this, and it's like not every pattern's created equal, right? Like if I see a head and shoulders, right? Let's just say this was like a clean left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? And I see a bunch of bullish CVD forming or something like that. Chances are that like it doesn't matter that we're forming a head and shoulders, right? The chart does not know that it's forming a head and shoulders. That's not why price moves. So like if I saw like a bunch of bullish CVD here, we had a bunch of absorption happening at the low, I would not expect that head and shoulders to play out. So I really just use it as like it's always like an honorable like mention for me. I'm always just like, oh, like my bias is to continue down or continue up or whatever it is. And then I'll be like, oh, and if that happens, you could see a nice little inverse head and shoulders, head and shoulders, whatever pattern you're looking for. So it's like, oh, also that would make sense because we're going to form that pattern. But it's not really what I look for to call moves. But yeah, I don't know if I would call that a head and shoulders either. But I'm not a head and shoulder. Maybe that's some kind of like wonky special head and shoulders. But I'm not the guy to ask about that. It would have to be like textbook for me. But yeah. Let's see. What if we get the low below 73K? Keep the scenario in mind, guys. Yeah, shout out to Dewagi. I don't know if I said that right. But yeah, 100%, right? Like it would, and this is going to be easier to look at in hindsight, obviously. If we do get the lower low, right? Like it's a big level of resistance, guys. And that golden pocket is the highest probability area to put in a lower high before putting in a lower low, right? Macro golden pocket pulled from the high to the low. If you're looking for a lower high and a lower low, this would be the first place to look for that to be the top. So yeah, but until, right, it's going to be like an if this, then that scenario, right? I short at the top, right? If we do come down and we start breaking below 88.5, I'm thinking to myself, well, hey, chances are pretty high at that point that was the lower high rejection, right? But until then, right, until we lose 88.5, I'm thinking maybe with money flow in the green, looking for the bounces at the value area lows, right, for the continuation up. Just because this is a high probability area to put in a lower high, it doesn't mean this has to be it. right? There's a million scenarios that could play out here. But again, right, we don't need to know every scenario, or we don't need to play every scenario. We just have to figure out what we're looking for. We get the confirmations, we take the short, we make money. We take the long, we make money, right? It does not matter. We don't have to necessarily call the top, because if we do continue down, it'll just be like, okay, maybe I close my short here and look for the long if price calls, right? If price action is looking like we're getting bullish confirmations down here. But if we start breaking down, we're just like, well, hey, we're losing 88.5. I'm going to hold on to the rest of my short, and maybe this is the top, and we're going to go down to make that lower low. So, yeah, chances are if we do make that lower low, we'll be short from the top. And if we come down here and see bullish confirmations, I'll probably be multiple take profits deep on the short, stop loss in profit, and looking for longs, right? That way, if we do continue down, right, we're still in the short. But if we continue up, we still make money getting stopped out in profit, and we'll have our fresh long from a key level, right? Does that make sense? All right, so there we go. Shout out to Crypto Anon said, Frankie, can we take a look at quant when you do alts? Shout out to Crypto Anon. We got to honor Anon's request. Taking a look at QNT, baby. QNT, yes, we will definitely, I will take a look at QNT for you, Anon. No problemo, brother. And welcome in. Let's see. And then to be honestly, like for the bear market, right? I know a lot of people, right? I don't think everybody kind of forgot about it, right? But everyone that was scared that this was the bear market, right? Like what would be like my line in the sand for the bear market? It kind of remains the same, right? Like this is what happens when you read the charts, right? Like you don't really change your opinion, right? Or your predictions until the chart tells you to. So kind of what I would look at here is the major levels you want to hold above, right? If I just hide all this stuff on the chart real quick, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, right? One thing I will look at is there's a few different things, right? Number one, you can look at the bull market support band. We haven't checked in on this in a while. Let's take the bull market support band one real quick. Yeah, man, we're cracking above that bull market support band. Good Lord. It would look so nice to get down to that 91K zone. Oh, man, I would love that. I would absolutely love that, man. Just makes me think we're not going to get it because I want it so bad. And a lot of times the market likes to spit in your face and be like, nah, we're just going to send it. But yeah, that's really, those are like the main scenarios. Are we going to get the bigger correction, or are we just going to kind of grind to the upside here? But yeah, bull market support band. Another thing you can look at is like the 50-week moving average. Let me pull up a moving average real quick. Bada boom. Come on in here. Whoops. 50. Pull up the weekly. Right, and that's pretty much what we bounced off of on the drop to the downside, right? Obviously, we were mostly looking at the 786 weekly naked point of control, but the 50-week moving average, the 50-week moving average was coming down there as well. Once you lose this, it's hard for me, right? Because like, I still think if you do come down here, I mean, you could go potentially as low as 68K. Really, once you start losing 68K, that is the POC of your macro lower range. So it's like, I don't know, even that is like, it would be like a warning sign, like, man, you really don't want to lose this decisively. Like, you don't want to close multiple weekly candles down below this for the most part. Typically, you can see you tap this, support, right? And that keeps the bull run healthy, support, right? So hopefully, we just want to continue up. And that's kind of my base case here. If we do get the correction down, even if we get the correction down, stay above 88.5, I would hope for that continuation up. But for the most part, guys, like, it's a difficult situation because we come on down to the golden pocket between, 72 to 70K, POC sits at about 68K. I've seen many a times price will break down, retest the POC of a major range like this, and then send it. And in my opinion, this would be the troll of a lifetime, right? Everyone was feeling the pain down here, and then they get all excited. And if we got the bigger lower low, this would be a really good place to just push people into that max fear and then absolutely wreck them. Right? Just like, oh my God, I should just sell my bag. I knew it was over down here. I should have sold up here. I'm going to sell down here. And then, just fake everybody out, send it to higher prices from there. This is a scenario you could see as well. The problem with this is if we now at this point, if we do come down here, we're going to potentially be dealing with the weekly money flow crossing into the red, which is more often than not, guys, a massive bearish signal, which oftentimes calls for the start of the bear market. I do not wish this on my worst enemy. I do not want to have to deal with the situation down here. It would be such a hard trade to take. It would be such a sketchy long to take. I would just don't want to deal with this. Because it's like if your money flow's crossing over into the red here, it's like, man, this is like the last place where we could bounce to have a healthy bull market. Once you start breaking in here, that's like mega bearish in my opinion. And that increases the likelihood of the bear market being here greatly, in my opinion. But luckily, we're pretty far away from there now. We got very close to having to deal with that situation, but we held our key level, which is nice. So hopefully we get to stay up here in this range and continue up. And just to kind of show this, right, this actually kind of reminds me, the situation that we're in right now, guys, low-key kind of reminds me of our macro volume profile from 2021. Do I still have this on the chart? Let me see. Previous macro? No. All right, so let me just pull this real quick, right? So, like, this was a major volume profile that we were looking at on the way back up from the bottom of the bear market, right? So when we look at this, bada boom, right? You get the pushback to the upside. Like, this is the same thing as us coming into this range, right? It's like, well, hey, if we get the bottom to come in, right, what happens? We get massive weekly bullish divergence. We could say, hey, if we can impulse out of here, we're going to get gravitated towards the value area low. Once we get into the value area low, we could look for the full golden pocket retracement, which happened to be sitting between 48 and 50K. And this is exactly what we looked for, right? And a lot of people say, like, how does this guy know, right? It's like, how do you know if you break 30K, you're probably going to 50, right? Well, it just has to do with the volume profiles, right? Resistance until proven otherwise. Once you get in, you look to get that bigger golden pocket retracement, very similar to what happened up here. Like, very similar. Like, honestly, if you pull this fractal actually also, right, let's just, like, even if you pull this fractal, man, it looks very similar, right? We're obviously going to have to shrink it down quite a bit, right? But, like, even the fractal looks the same. And it doesn't mean that it has to play out like this, but, like, if you just look at this, right? You get your high, you sweep the high, you get the big dump, bullish divergences, macro bullish divergences. We didn't have a weekly bull div down here, but we had high time frame bullish divergences. At that point, what are we going to be looking for? You're going to be looking for the acceptance back into your range. You're going to say, hey, we're probably going to get gravitated to the value area low, and if we can get above that value area low, where's the next key level to look at? The golden pocket retracement. Very similar. Right? Once we get above the golden pocket, POC, massive resistance level that we have here, next likely place for price to go is going to be that 786 value area high. What was it back here? Well, let's see. Once we get above that, and we got a little pullback here as well, like very similar. You reject the golden pocket, you get the little pullback, higher lows, higher highs, right? Once you get above that golden pocket, next likely place for price to go, value area high of the range, sitting at 54K. We pushed into that, and then the 786 was sitting up there as well. Obviously, on a high time frame, you could not see almost no reaction there. But yeah, you get above that golden pocket, you're looking up towards that value area high. And you can even see here on the 5 hour, right? You push into the value area high, little reaction, into the 786, little reaction. So these are definitely going to be the next targets. Again, almost the exact same situation that we're in right now. It looks so similar, so similar. It doesn't mean we have to go to the 786, but hey, if we get above here, hold that support, might be very similar, right? Literally. Bing bong. Up to the value area high. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let's see here. Check it out chat real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. All we need is hope and money. Please, Lord, send it. Let's go. Shout out to Menno Productions. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Ahmed. Said you need balls of steel to join this run. Yeah, this is honestly, guys, this has definitely been the hardest cycle I've been a part of, right? I've been in crypto since 2016. This is definitely the hardest cycle. I was talking about this in the premium Discord. It used to, and I do think we'll eventually see the alt season everybody's looking for. But, it just used to be like, you pick an altcoin, rising tides lifts all ships. Throw a dart at a board of 100 altcoins, you buy it, it goes up when everything pumps. And we are just not seeing stuff like that happen in this run. I do think that we will get there, right? We will see the alt season. Obviously, we do have to keep an eye on the Bitcoin dominance to kind of indicate that. And actually come in here and take a look at this real quick. Let me just make sure I'm on the right chart. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, still kind of just wiggling around up here towards the POC. Got the daily bear div, and we're just pushing back up here, though. Let's check the 2-day. 2-day bear div potentially printing. You're right above the POC, so you have support right below you as well. But yeah, I would say like the biggest indication here to see some alts start to really run, lose that POC or push up into the 786 where you have another high probability of a reaction. These are the same levels we've been looking at. So, yeah, not too much to update here other than the fact that we do have the 2-day bear div. But look at that money flow so thick on the 2-day here on the Bitcoin Dominance. Check some of these higher time frames. 5-day red dot. Yeah, weekly red dot printing. 10-hour money flow coming out. Maybe we could start to see this dominance cool off a little bit. Doesn't mean alt season incoming necessarily. But if you have that red dot on the weekly, with your 10-hour money flow crossing into the red, could get a pullback. Hopefully you can lose the POC and start to work your way back down towards the value area low. That would be the best opportunity to see some kind of an alt run. And then once you lose that value area low, hopefully we could see a much bigger collapse on dominance. But yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest, this is the hardest cycle that I've ever been a part of. Let's see. Shout out to Ahmed, said, it's only my first year trading. I got tossed left and right 10 times already. I ain't giving up anytime soon, baby. Shout out to Ahmed. Stick with it, bro. It's so difficult. But yeah, it's really the it's the ones who, they say that, what is it? Day trading, what is it? Like a 95% failure rate or a 90, whatever it is, right? I really think most people just quit, right? Because most people just want to get in, make fast money, easy money, and get out. But I just, I do think this market is changing. Anybody that I know that just got like super rich overnight buying some random altcoin, like all those gains typically happen in earlier cycles. Like even last cycle, right? Like if you were on crypto YouTube or in the crypto universe at all in the last bull market, you will know, like a lot of people, right? Like everyone just had the craziest targets for like all these altcoins and even Bitcoin. The big target was 100K. We have to make it to 100K. We got nowhere near it, right? Like we got to 69K, which is hilarious, right? Because that's just the perfect place for Bitcoin to troll everybody in the memeiest fashion. Let's see. I started, shout out to Dremmer. Says I started trading on the day the market went berserk. Hey, that's hopefully we're in the right direction. Probably paid off. Dave Digital says, Frankie, when Crypto Princess interview? Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Crypto Princess. Said, I'm off to bed. Have a great live stream. Shout out to Crypto Princess. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I don't know when Crypto Princess interview. I don't know. We haven't done a lot of collabs recently. But yeah, I keep saying we're gonna start them back up. But yeah, I have a lot that I'm dealing with off camera, to be quite honest with you guys. A lot of business related stuff, content related stuff. But yeah, we gotta start freeing up some more time. Let's see. This is already a slow grind back to moving average consolidation. Shout out to Guardian. I'm not sure exactly. I think it means moving average consolidation. Let's see. Last bull market peak. Shout out to Lars. Said, surely TA doesn't work on Bitcoin dominance, or am I crazy? Shout out to Lars, right? A lot of people would, no. I would personally disagree with that completely. And the reason I say that is just, simply because we've done it, and it works, right? You can pretty much do TA on any chart, and that could get pretty abstract, to be honest. I've done TA on our YouTube analytics, and I'm not even gonna lie, like this is kind of crazy, but if you see divergences between certain things, you could typically it's crazy. Anyway, we've gone over that before. I wouldn't say it's legit to do it on YouTube analytics, but yeah, any chart, any information that you could chart, you could like analyze history and see if it repeats, right? But for Bitcoin dominance, 100%, right? And I'll argue this, right? Not only can you do TA on dominance, but I would argue that if you weren't doing TA on dominance, you got chopped up here a bit, right? For me personally, I don't really know exactly the big level. I know a lot of people were looking at 55% on Bitcoin dominance as a really, really big level. For me personally, I had my eyes set up here towards 61%. And the only reason for that is because it is a macro golden pocket retracement. And we did not get chopped up here. We just waited to come into the key level. And I did feel crazy looking at that level because I know a lot of people were looking down here. Like, I don't know. Like, the golden pocket's all the way up here. Like, if we don't reject from 55%, like, I would just rather wait for the technical level. We waited for the technical level, and, we wound up catching a big pumps on a lot of coins on that rejection off the golden pocket. And that had everything to do with TA. It was the value area low / golden pocket retracement. And then even on this next push up, right, saying, like, guys, like, when was this? I think this was in February when everyone was calling for alt season. I feel like everyone calls for alt season every day. But, everyone looks for alt season in February. But, like, I can't unsee the TA. It's like, well, hey, like we're breaking above the golden pocket and the value area low. If we get accepted into this value area low, the next likely place for price to go is the POC. And I know we're not talking about price here, but the same theory applies. And just to show, I mean, we talk about this on many different live streams. This is just based off the charts, right? And like, that's what we look for. It played out. This is what we looked for. It played out, right? And I'm just going to keep doing that until it doesn't work. And some people like, yeah, you can 100% do TA on Bitcoin dominance. And, maybe it stops working at some point, but that's why I would say you can. So yeah, hope that helps you out. Let's see. Shout out to Toasty Fry. Said, Frankie, you look sexy with that haircut. I see you flaunting it. First time I've seen you without a hat. Shout out to Toasty. Oh, God, man, you're going to make me blush. Shout out to Toasty. Yeah, I don't do a lot of no hat streams, but that's because my hair was crazy. If I took my hat off last week, guys, you would have, I would have gotten memed to the end of days. It was crazy. It looked like a bowl cut. I should have done it. I should have done it for the content. Shout out to Dave Digital. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said you're one of the most requested guests on her show. Shout out to Dave Digital. Yeah, I mean, I have gone on some, I think I've been on Sin City. Was like the only collab we've done in like the past year. It's just really hard for me to like lock in a time because I don't like to cancel. Like I really hate, like if I say I'm going to do something, I really want to show up. And it's hard for me to make those promises because my schedule is really crazy right now outside of content. But yeah, I mean, I would love, I got to check out her channel. Shout out to Crypto Princess. Let's see. Could you perhaps take a look at others? Yeah, sure. Of course. Let's take a look at others. Bada boom, bada bing. So yeah, same thing with others, right? Like we're just looking at this. I mean, you could even see, right? It's like the only thing that was right with others or Bitcoin dominance at the end of the day was the chart, right? So in here, November 2024, we get the massive rip up. We know once you get above this value area low, it's very likely, right? For price, I know it's not price, right? But it's very likely, right? And like you just can't. Yeah, like, I mean, you just can't, I personally can't refute this, right? It's like, you get to the value area low, right? You literally have bullish divergences. You get back into the range, and like, just to zoom in here and show this, you get above your value area low and flip it to support, right? Like, it's not luck, right? This is just oftentimes what happens. You get above the level, you flip the value area low to support. At that point, the next major target for price or others, right, would be the POC of the range. Once you flip above the POC, the next likely place for price to go is the value area high. You get a little turbulence. At that point, once you get accepted above this value area low, that is your doorway to much higher prices, right? You get above, hold the value area low as support. Next likely place for price to go, POC. You break above the POC. You flip it to support. Next likely place for price to go, value area high. Once you deviate above that volume profile or value area high, this is, I mean, not that I trade this, obviously, but this is where you would typically be looking for shorts on a price chart, right, to get accepted back into your range. At this point, right, obviously you got to fake out, back out. But, I mean, you can even see here, deviate above, get back in, right? Once you break above, flip this to support. Now you're really deviating above your volume profile. Come onto a higher time frame, right? At that point, your value area high becomes key support. Once you get accepted below that value area high, the next likely place for price to go is the POC. You got one wick down there, right? You bing bong around, you get back stuck in the range, POC, value area low, right? Once you lose this range, you're going to look to get accepted into your lower range, which is right down here, previous volume profile. You get the drop, right? You actually wick down to the POC over here, right? But eventually you get stuck in your range, back to the low, back to the high, deviation, back in, back to the POC. And you can see if I mark out this POC again, this is not just random. You get below the POC, flip it to resistance, value area low. Deviate below the low, look to get back in, flip the value area low to support, next likely place, POC, value area high, right? So for others, for me personally, right, like, oh, inverted head and shoulders maybe. But for me personally, this is your doorway to higher prices, right, on others. So, if you want another big pump on altcoins, right, like, well, hey, like if you get accepted back into this range like you did right here, right, that's where I would look for moving to the POC and the value area high. And that's your best bet, in my opinion, to look for another massive run on alts, right? I would just stick to the charts, right? Like once you get accepted back into this range, right, you're not looking for a massive explosion of altcoins, right? Because the volume profile, the laws of the volume profile state, POC's next. Get stuck under the POC. Fulfill the range is very likely. Now, this is also contextual, right? If you have money flow crossing into the green on like massively high time frames, maybe you have like a weekly money flow crossover to the green or something like that. You could potentially look for higher lows and higher highs. You're not going to range around forever, right? A lot of people ask me that, right? Like, hey, get the volume profiles. I've been trading them beautifully, shorting the highs, long in the lows, right? And again, not that I trade others, obviously, but if you have like, a lot of people ask me, like, Frankie, like, how do you know? Like, sure, there's plenty of money to be made within the ranges, but how do I know eventually you're going to break up or you're going to break down? And that's where money flow comes into effect, right? You see like high time frame money flow coming up, crossing over the zero line, crossing into the green. That's where you could say to yourself, well, hey, I know money flow indicates a longer-term trend. If I can get that crossover into the green, maybe we start to put in higher lows and higher highs, right? So, yeah, I mean, right now on others, you have gone above your value area. You're now losing your POC. So if you want to see this come up, you got to break above that POC. And in my opinion, I wouldn't really be writing home about anything until you flip that major value area low to support. That's your best bet for a move up, in my opinion. Until then, right, you have to look at this as your volume profile. Get stuck under the POC, you could go back down to the low. Not saying it has to go there, right? Especially with this money flow, like trying to mess around on the daily, coming back into the green. But yeah, I would say like all eyes on the 247 billion mark. Doorway to higher prices, value area low, right? And again, don't take my word for it. Go back test this stuff, right? This is not cherry picked. We've been looking at these levels forever. Like ever since we got the breakdown here, right? And by the way, take a look at this, right? You have a previous range here, right? Very similar to your current range that you played around in here. Could have been used for a prediction down here, right? But then once you deviate here, you have this beautiful profile giving you the guide to what price is going to do next. Price, right? Get above the low, deviate above the high, back in, back to the low of your range, get back in here. I would look for something like that, right? If you get above that door at higher prices. So there you go. Just simple volume profile stuff. The best way to look at any market, whether you're looking at dominance, anything, right? This works. Maybe it's just the luckiest thing ever, but I doubt it. But yeah, hopefully it helps you out. Let's see. Hope this dead cat bounce, and we hope this is a dead cat bounce, and we go to 91K. Yeah, me too. Shout out to JP. I hope that too. Kind of makes me think it won't happen though, because the market's going to be like, nah, I'm not going to do it for you. But let's see here. We're going to take a look at the alts right now as well. We just got to see if we are going to hold or lose the POC of our scalp range. Yeah, so we're sitting above it. I mean, I don't hate that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, my preferred scenario personally would be around 91, send it back up. But we're prepared for anything, obviously. All right, let's see. You're making me bullish. Shout out to Nicholas. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Said, if I'm going to Google for it, then I won't get arrested. Shout out to Mark Dutch. What are you Googling, bro? Shout out to Mark Dutch. Google it at the library, Dutchy. Stay safe. What are you guys Googling? Good Lord. All right, let's see. Send it, baby. Shout out to Crypto Sharknado. When XRP goes back to the #1 spot, will everything else be an alt? Yo, is Bitcoin going to be an alt one day? Maybe. I doubt it. Not #1, maybe #2. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at not XRP. Take a quick look at Ethereum here. We want to go to our public chart. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so yeah, I'll be honest, guys. God, Ethereum just still stuck, right? Rejected the POC, got a little pullback. We're just still stuck below this POC, right? Which we all know is a golden pocket, and we have our 786 retrace. I mean, we are just still in the same situation on Ethereum, right? If we get the bigger pullback, maybe Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does, it's going to depend, right? If Bitcoin goes back to 91K, I would be looking at this value area low, right? / golden pocket retracement as the key level of support. Maybe we come down there, hold it as support, come back up, flip the POC, go to the value area high. But yeah, this thing is just stuck below the POC. But the nice thing here is based on what we're looking at here on this local range, when you approach from the bottom, right, when you approach from the low, break into your value area low, POC is the next likely place for price to go. And although this could be a messy journey, once you get above that POC, like the anticipated fill of the range would be to the upside here. But you got to get above that POC. And if we get the cool off, as long as we stay above that golden pocket value area low, the doorway does still stay open to higher prices. And then once we start really breaking down, as you guys know, we have the larger bear market range. Hide the, pull up the bear market range. Like when we look at it from this context, even if we go back to the value area high, like, yeah, this is, hopefully we don't have to deal with this. Like this would be, yeah. Once you start losing the 786 down here, you would also be re-losing your POC of the range when approaching from above, right? This is your larger macro bear market range. Once you lose that POC, next likely place for price to go is going to be that value area low. $1,311. But yeah, like locally here, I would still be looking at this within the context of the mini range. And again, this value area low is basically our POC, right? So again, like multiple reasons to look at that as a key level of support because like, again, there's no guarantee you have to fill this to the value area low. But if you do wind up coming down here and you do not want to go to the value area low, you have to hold above that POC, right? So just two different contexts. But if we take a look at the mini range here, let's just take a look at market cipher B real quick. So 4-hour money flow is attempting. Yeah, 4-hour money flow coming. It's a little choppy. We're back in the green here, but that money flow is generally trending to the downside. 8-hour money flow, pretty choppy as well. VWAP coming up. I would say the same thing on Bitcoin, right? Like the 8-hour green dot, money flow is already in the green on the 30-minute, though. Let's see here. Yeah, I would watch for these higher time frame green dots. 8-hour green dot, 12-hour green dot, 16-hour green dot, and I would be looking at 1-hour money flow already crossed into the green. So you don't really have the market cipher B116 setups, to be quite honest. I would like to see that for the move to the upside. Let's check the higher time frames. Yeah, 2-day red dot hasn't even printed yet on Ethereum. One thing I would look for, we do have the divergences formed here at the low, but if you do put the lower low into the $13,000 level, which, again, we would hope, right? In the bullish case, you just hold the POC if we get the bigger retracement and we just continue up. But if you do get the bigger pullback to the value area low, this could potentially give you a much nicer 2-day bullish divergence. That would be something to look for. Money flow curving back to the downside as well. But, yeah, I would just be looking at this within these two ranges. Like, until we lose the POC or break out of the value area high of our mini range, I'm going to be looking at this. Right? Once we wind up cracking above this value area high, the real thing for me to look at Ethereum as showing a sign of strength is going to be the breaking above this value area low. Kind of similar to the other chart, right? Get above that macro value area low. That is your real doorway to higher prices. This is the key level to get above it, $2,100. Flip that to support. POC would very likely be next at $23.21. Flip that to support. Very next likely place for price to go. You know, again, you're going to have a lot of resistance in here, you know, locally, but for the most part, once you get above that POC, you could start your journey up towards that value area high. But the question is, what is going to happen down here? Yeah, like weekly VWAP starting to roll over. And I would watch these, you know, for the move down, I'm watching these higher time frame red dots. For a quick move to the upside, if we're going to break above the POC and come to the value area high, I'd be watching the, again, I would say the 16-hour green dot with the 1-hour money flow, but 1 hour is already crossing up. So, yeah, I mean, we're just still stuck here. Targets remain the same. Get above the POC. I'm looking at about 1940. Get above that, $2,100. Get above that. That's really the door to higher prices. Move down. Key level support sits between 1668 and 1641. Technically, down to the 786 at $1,600. So, Bitcoin pulls back to 91K. Ethereum comes down here, in my opinion, right? Looking for potential longs there. Once we break down, this is probably Bitcoin playing around with 88.5, not really liking it. Maybe Ethereum goes to 1,300. But we don't have to worry about that until we start breaking down from here. Until then, we can look for that continuation up to this value area high. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, Golden! What is going on? Shout out to Golden. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, are you going to BTC Vegas this month? Shout out to Golden. We are... Man, if I go to... yeah. I can't 100% say. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. My original plan was to go, but I had some stuff come up. I would really love to go, but I don't know. I am in a limbo right now. I'm in a limbo right now. But shout out to Golden. I will let you know. Are you going to be there is the question. Shout out to Golden. If something changes, I will let you know, but I'm not 100% sure right now. But yeah, shout out to Golden. Are you going, bro? Let me know. Let's see. All right, so let's continue on here. Things change. Be ready for it. Yeah, shout out to World War. One thing I will say is, listen, guys. Is Ethereum going to zero? I mean, I guess it's not possible. I don't personally think that's the case. But just understand, like, people are not going to be, like, bullish on Ethereum until it moves up, right? The key here is to try to, figure out, if we get down to that value area low at $1,300 and we put in a 2-day bull div, it's like that is not where people are going to be bullish, but that is like honestly where you want it, if you have the signs, right? If you get that 2-day bull dip, like that's where you want to be bullish, right? You don't want to be one of those people that are, bearish on Ethereum until it starts like breaking up towards all-time highs, right? Like a lot of people are going to start getting interested in Ethereum again if it comes back up here, not when it's down here. So yeah, we'll see. Could it go to zero? Sure. It's a risk I'm willing to take, I guess. But yeah, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. But I could be wrong. Let's see. Trying to find Golden in the chat. I'm trying to see if he's going to BTC Vegas. Yo, Frankie is bald. Shout out to Wick's wife, 589, and Wick, 589. Yeah, we're doing a hat off stream here, guys. I feel like I should be. Maybe we should make this we should. I put this on only candles normally, showing a little head skin. The past does not equal the future, 100%. Shout out to Guardian. Have I missed XRP? Shout out to Crypto Lady. Absolutely not. You have not missed XRP. We took a look at Ethereum. I'm going to take a quick look at Solana, which is also kind of just still in the same situation. We're holding above that POC. This was the key level that we were looking at on Friday night's live stream, right? Looking at this as like, hey, so long as we hold above this POC, the doorway to the value area high is open, right? We did come up to a daily naked point of control here to get that rejection. But, at the end of the day, this is still in that same kind of scenario, right? We are in this beautiful volume profile. If we can hold above the POC, I would be looking at the next major zone of resistance between 158 and 167.20, between the anchored VWAP, which is pulled from this high all the way up here, right? Between 158 and 167. Anchored VWAP, daily naked point of control, 786 Fibonacci retracement, value area high. And this golden pocket, if we pull up our fib, pull up that golden pocket, right? That's kind of what we're getting resistance from right now. But once we flip that golden pocket, next likely place for price to go is the 786, and that does track with the idea of saying, hey, flip your value area low to support, move up into the POC, flip that POC, you're going to be looking up towards that value area high. So if we break above that golden pocket, hold it as support, this will be the next zone I'm looking at for Solana. And that is the same thing. So I don't want to spend too much time on this because we've covered this so many times in the same range. Yeah, it's like 4-hour choppy. Let's check the 8-hour. 8-hour green dot printing, 30-minute money flow. So yeah, we go look for this 30-minute money flow to cross over into the green. 1 hour also coming up very nicely here with a 16-hour green dot potentially looking to print, right? That VWAP's getting pretty close to the zero line. So if that 16-hour green dot prints, looking for that 1 hour money flow to follow. Actually doesn't look that bad. Break above that golden pocket, I'd be looking up towards that next zone. Let's check that 45-minute money flow as well. Also looking to cross over into the green. 12-hour green dot also looking to print. So, yeah, we have those market cipher B 1/16 bullish setups. If we hold above that POC, get that money flow to cross over with these high hourly time frame green dots, might be able to get that push up towards the next zone. Again, sitting between 158.75 and 167.20. Let's see. Shout out to Ahmed. Said thoughts on Elliott waves. I think Elliott waves are awesome. I am not an Elliott wave expert. I'm not an Elliott wave trader. I know about them, obviously. I wouldn't consider myself an expert on them. Probably, I will say this. Elliott wave theory is probably the one thing that I would say. There's a lot of things that I don't look at when it comes to TA. I like to stick to what I know, right, and what works for me and what has performed well for me in the past, obviously. But I will say the Elliott wave is probably the one thing that I would say if I were to learn something or dive deeper into becoming an expert on something. Elliott waves is probably one thing that I don't pay as much attention to that I kind of wish I did. I think it's like one of the more useful forms of TA rather than something like an arbitrary pattern or something like that. Yeah, I think Elliott waves are awesome. I'm just not necessarily a Elliott wave expert, but 100% something that I would probably recommend looking into for sure. Let's see. We're Where are y'all finding $9 eggs? I keep hearing people say that, but eggs are like $3 everywhere I go. Shout out to World War. I'll be honest, I don't know how much eggs cost. I don't do the egg buying here. I don't do the egg buying. Mrs. Candles does the egg buying. Mrs. Candles! She's going to come in here and be like, why is your hat off? Put your hat back on. Let's see. Ostrich eggs, I guess. Maybe ostrich eggs, I would think, are a lot more expensive. How dare you do Solana before XRP? It's lower in market cap now. Yo, shout out to Two Big Paws. Let's go. All right, let's jump into XRP real quick. Which, again, I hate to say this, guys, but I have to because it's just the fact of the matter. We're just still sitting here, right? We're just still within our volume profile here. Very similarly, last time we had like a significant, at least prediction of some kind on XRP was like, hey, get above this value area, hold that value area low. That's where we could start our journey up towards the POC of the range, which we did actually front run. We front ran the 786. We front ran the point of control. And if we pull up the 618, and the 6.5, right? You can see the golden pocket similar to Solana is where we got the resistance. But once we get above that golden pocket, I would be looking towards that POC 786 weekly zone sitting between 237 and 244. That's what I'd be looking at, right? So you got to get above the golden pocket. Key support really does still sit here at the value area low. Similar to everything else, right? As long as we stay within this profile, doorway to the POC remains open. If we do break down below, and we start losing this range, key target to look at sitting right here between $1.92 and $1.87. This would be in the case of like a scarier kind of correction, right? This could be an area, weekly golden pocket confluence could be an area to put a higher low in at. You'd have to long into the value area low at that point. So you do have resistance above, but if you can get a nice entry down there and then flip this value area low to support, it would be very nice if you are going to go fill that range in full. The question is, are we going to get the scarier retracement and hopefully a higher low, right, if that does happen? Or are we just going to hold above the value area low? So key levels on XRP right now, very simply sit 205 value area low of the range. And then the golden pocket weekly confluence sitting between 192 and 187. Honorable mention, $1.77 sitting down here at the 786. That would be the line in the sand. Once you break that, you're very likely going lower, potentially targeting about $1.50, where we have another, let me pull it up. Yeah, I would be watching down here. Like you lose that 786, you're probably coming down to that value area high, and like that's what you don't want to lose, right? You lose this, I wouldn't want to get accepted into that lower value. So yeah, you're hoping you hold the value area low first. If not, weekly golden pocket is really the preferred area to hold. Once you lose that 786, last hope, before having to deal with this potential breakdown. Technically, value area high would be supported about $1.66. But yeah, it's just sketchy because once you get stuck in there, probably going lower. But luckily, we're pretty far away from that, right? So hopefully we can just hold that value area low. And technically, right, if we pull some local fibs, pull from the higher low to the high, you do have golden pocket confluence down here as well to potentially hold that higher low. But if you go for that full golden pocket retracement of this entire move, this would be that level to really you would want to hold, right? And you'd want a nice reaction off of that, reclaim of the value area low, and then maybe send it up towards 240. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Still inside the major range, just kind of bing-bonging sideways here. Kind of boring, to be honest. Let's check the daily. Yeah, daily, nothing really to take away. 2-day red dot, 3-day red dot looking to print as well. So yeah, we'll see. Bigger retracements, still at this point, daily money flow back in the red on XRP. Again, that can change pretty quickly on the daily. 3-day red dot. That's not a blood diamond, is it? Oh, man. Why do we got to get the 3-day blood diamond, man? Money flow, still kind of coming up there. But, yeah, key support. I'd be looking value area low, golden pocket. These are the two next areas. If we do get the bigger pullback, these are the big areas that you would want to hold. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Jumbo eggs. I like them big. Shout out to JP. Let's go. Wick589 said, Tradefly just saying hi to wifey because he feels bad for not making her a mod on his channel yet. Yo, shout out to Wick589. Yo, Wick, I swear your profile picture is like the Where's Waldo in chat. Did you come in with Wick's wife? I always try to look for you because you guys usually coming together, and for some reason I can never see your profile picture. Shout out to Anon says no. Shout out to Anon. But yeah, overall, like I still just still remain. We'll see. We're inside the bigger range. This is nice, right? Until we break down out of here, I'd be just looking at that value area low. But speaking of Anon, guys, let's take a quick look at Quant. Whoops. Q&T, baby. Q&T. Let's see. So yeah, shout out to Anon. We were talking of he texted me about Quant. And yeah, he was looking for a move up. We saw the 2-day green dot. I believe it was the actually the weekly green dot with the daily money flow crossover, or daily money flow coming up for that continuation up. And yeah, he did say it was playing out pretty nice, baby. Playing out pretty nice. But let's see here. Let me let's take a look here. We have to have a quant chart. Coinbase. Whoops. Am I on the right chart? Where is my dang quant chart? All right. Well, I guess we will just do a new one. Tether US. We'll take a look at this one. All right. So this would kind of be the major profile I would look at, right? And this was even respected over here, right? So major profile I would be looking at, and let me just pull this for... I'm going to take these levels real quick. This is what I would look at. This is the major profile, right? You deviate below the low. What happened last time? You get below the low. You start putting in bullish divergences here. We're on the 3-day time frame. You get the move up, get into your value area low, POC, value area high, deviate above, back in, POC, value area low, deviate below. We got the 2 and 3-day bull divs, right? Did we get the 2-day bull divs here? No, you actually didn't technically have the 2-day bull div. You can see we have a slightly lower low on that momentum wave. Not a technical bull div there, but you did get it on the 3-day with the high time frame green dots as well. Looking for that, right? Major target here would be looking at that bull div, looking for the push into that value area low. That's a major, major target and a major level of resistance, right? This would be resistance until proven otherwise on Quant. Once you flip that level to support, POC would very likely be next. Flip that POC, value area high is that next major target. Same thing here. Flip the low, POC, flip the POC, value area high. Same thing here. Value area low, POC, flip the POC, value area high, right? So this will be kind of the roadmap I would be looking at on Quant, if you quanted to know. There you go. Break above that POC. Value area low. Yeah, that's really, this is your doorway to higher prices. In my own personal opinion. Bada boom. Doorway to higher prices. Right? And it is also, obviously, your value area low. Let's label that POC. Boom. Value area high. So yeah, this is what I would look at on the higher time frames. Daily or 3-day money flow looking to cross over into the green. Daily money flow crossing over into the green. Red dot printing, right? Obviously. Yeah, let's see. Are we going to flip this to support? Get above, hold it as support. Maybe you can continue up, but I would say daily money flow, red dot, you could expect a little bit of turbulence. This is going to be resistance until proven otherwise, right? So you can sometimes play around with these levels, but that daily money flow crossover into the green, I would be looking for the 2-week green dot, right? Or technically it would be the 14-day. The 16-day. So 16-day green dot, right? With the daily money flow crossover would be what I would look for a continuation to the upside. And that VWAP is coming up on the 16-day. So you print that 16-day green dot, daily money flow starting to cross over into the green. That is a market cipher B116 strategy, bullish setup. So yeah, I would say, why am I using a highlighter? Once you get above that value area low and hold it, next likely target would be 102.50 at the POC. Flip that, looking up towards about 144. Even at the value area high. Now, obviously, you are going to have some local levels of resistance as well, right? You have a little bit of a mini range right here. You also have a little bit of a mini range right here, right? So you would want to get accepted in here. Might get a little resistance, right? So these are kind of little mini ranges that I would look for as local resistance. But for the most part, macro-wise, hold above that macro value area low. I mean, just look what happens every time you get in there, right? It's not just get in there, you have to go to the high, but it's also the context of the daily money flow crossing into the green, the 2-week green dot, right, or the 16-day green dot. Let's see, the 2-week green dot's probably already printing. That's typically what I look at, right? 2-week green dot, yeah, printing with your daily money flow crossover. That is your first sign that you could be starting a bigger macro push to the upside. Don't hate that. I don't hate that. But you could get a little turbulence here. You still have to, like, I would want to close multiple daily candles up here to call that accepted. So, yeah, that actually don't look too bad. Watch that signal on Quant. Come on, baby. Send it to $1 million. So, shout out to Anon. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Yo, shout out to Wick589. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Said the PFP is an embroidered wifey piece. I can never change it again. Hey, shout out to Wick589. I would agree. Never change that. Show off wifey's work. Let's go. Shout out to the Wicks, baby. Let's go. I have to like train myself because I'm always looking for the trash. The trash cat. I'm always looking for the possum with the stank fingers. And I'm so used to looking for you, Wick, by searching for that PFP. It's so hard for me to like get used to looking for that. There it is. I got it. I'm a long-term wifey holder. Shout out to Wick589. Let's go. Thanks, brother. Shout out to Crypto Anon. Yeah, hopefully that helps you out, bro. Value area low, 84.70. POC 102.50. And then the value area high at 144. And again, daily money flow crossing into the green doesn't look too shabby in my own personal opinion. Let's see. AVAX. Yeah, we can take a quick look at AVAX. Do I think 500K is possible? It's not really. I mean, possible, obviously, yeah, for sure. Like, anything could be possible, but that is not one of my main targets for this bull run. 500K, I think, is a I think the 500K is super high, right? Like, I'm looking at 200K on the high end of things, and then, when we get there, we will look for a we'll see what price looks like at those levels, right? If it looks super bad, right, if it looks like it's topping out, right, probably, I am not just going to wait for 500K. I'm not just going to wait for 200K. I'm a level-to-level trader, so every time we come into those actual zones, that's where I reanalyze price. I try to figure out what we're doing, right? Are we getting bearish confirmations, bullish confirmations, money flow, all that good stuff, and then I'll make that decision at that moment, right? If it looks really bearish, maybe I'll take more profit. If it looks really good, I'll take a smaller amount of profits in anticipation of another push up. But I think 500K is like definitely possible, but it's let's get to 150K first, right? And then we can start talking about 200K. I think 500K, so it's just too soon to be looking up there and just hoping that we're going to push up there this cycle. That is what I would be looking at. All right, let's take a look at, what was it? AVAX. We'll take a real quick look at AVAX. Yo, it's Frankie, no cap. Shout out to K-Man. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, so taking a look at AVAX, we have to have an AVAX chart. Why are my charts getting deleted here? Coinbase? That's got to be it. Okay, there we go. All right, so on AVAX, I would say 4-day red dot printing looks eerily close to a blood diamond. Maybe Heiken blood diamond. There it is. It's on your Heikenashi candles. You do have a blood diamond here. We've gotten into our value area, right? Got below the value area high. Tried to hold the POC. Red dot looking to print. Yeah, I mean, listen. You got to get out of this value area, right? If you break out of this value area, what you really want to do is you got to crack above these highs and really get accepted into this upper range, right? Because with the 2-day, you have the bull divs into the POC. I just don't like that you're getting stuck under this value area, value area high at 2145. I really don't like that. 3-day red dot, 4-day red dot, and blood diamond on your Heikenashi candles. VWAP's rolling over on your 5-day. Yeah, money flow trying to come up, but yeah, money flow on the 4-hour. Yeah, not great. I don't like that you're back below that value area high. But the nice thing here is if you can get this high time frame money flow, like 2-day back out, man, this is really what you get. You got to get it back up and hold above these highs. It's kind of similar to Bitcoin structurally, right? You put in the 2-day bull divs, you start to range around a little bit. You want to break this structure to the upside and start holding support, push into the value area low, and get accepted into the upper value. Like, these are for sure the 2 value areas I'd be watching. If you cannot, we've already gotten above, back in, bearish retest. POC is going to be your key level of support, 1730. You break below 1730, I'm looking for the bigger move down towards 1237, simply put. Break above the value area high, hold support, big target. This will be your golden pocket. You would have to move this. Golden pocket, value area low, confluence, and then your 786 is right above. Yeah, you would hope if you can get out of this value area high, push into the golden pocket, value area low, that would be what I want to see. But until then, right, you're just in general stuck inside this profile, right? So technically, the next likely place for price to go would be the POC. So yeah, value area high sitting at 2154. That's the level to break out. POC 1740, value area low 1231. If you did get another like push down here, you lose the POC, push into the value area low, I would look for some of these high time frame bullish divergences, right? Like 4-day bull div, that would look really nice. But if you don't want to come down there, you are hoping. And like if we had, if like the daily money flow could come back into the green, maybe you could push up here, but I would look at the rejection there on that value area high. That is 100% the level to get above. Until then, you're within your range. So POC is key support, value area high is key resistance, and you could even pull this as potentially its own little local range. Value area high at 2190, value area low, POC confluence down here. So you could potentially look to trade that little mini range. But yeah, technically it's like not great that we got accepted back. Like we're just still getting stuck in this value area, but maybe we're just doing what Bitcoin did. Right? Where you go down, you kind of just range around, and then eventually you get the breakout and push into your macro value area low. That would similarly look like this on AVAX. Right? Bull divs, range around, squeeze up, value area low. Hopefully we see that same thing happen. But that's what I'd be looking at on AVAX. 16-hour green dot looking to print, 12-hour green dot looking to print. So if we get the push up, guys, on the altcoins, on Bitcoin, same thing. 12, 16-hour green dots print, 1 hour, 45-minute money flows crossing over into the green. That's where I think you get the push up first. Bitcoin continuing. Oh, baby. Or not really. Hang on, let me pull up the actual chart. Yeah, staying above that POC. That's a nice sign locally. So we'll see if that 16-hour green dot decides to print. 12-hour green dot decides to print. And remember, that early signal will be the 8-hour green dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover into the green. If that happens, we might go up for that upper CME gap. But until then, I'm going to hold this short, baby. I'm going to hold this short and see if we can continue to the downside. If we get stopped out there, I'll at least get stopped out at break even. I might take some profit on this, honestly, in a few minutes. But those are my plans, guys. If you just tuned in, scrub to the beginning of the stream and you will feel, oh God, you're not going to feel anything. Well, hopefully you do feel something, but you'll get my full breakdown on Bitcoin, the exact levels that I'm looking at and my exact trading plan here. But yeah, we are running out of time here. So let's see. Imagine the worldwide adopted currency being Farcoin. Yo, shout out to Nicholas. Yeah, that would be insane. That would be insane. But yeah, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't really have too much of a preference, right? Like, this is kind of a risk-free trade for me right now. If I get stopped out of that, we're going to be looking up towards our next key levels of resistance. And again, if you just tuned in, scrub back to the beginning of the stream. You can check out all those key levels. But if we do get the drop to the downside, you guys have all the key levels I'm looking at for the bounces. Overall, I feel bullish for the most part, guys, as long as we can remain inside our macro value area low between 91 and 89.5. As long as we can stay in there, I'm looking for higher lows and higher highs to come. Once we flip 97K and hold that as support, get above 98.3, we might be able to get this party started, guys. I'm not going to lie. But until then, until we can flip that major level of resistance, we do have to approach with caution. But I would say I am definitely cautiously optimistic. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Smash that like button on your way out if you like Frankie Candle's new haircut. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. I love each and every single one of you. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
What's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Shout out to Wick589 says, stream as tight as Frankie's fade, use what you learned, and go get paid. That's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.